Okay, today is Sunday, October the 4th, 2020, and right now at 10:20 we have a temperature of 85 degrees here in the foothills of Los Angeles. We have clear skies currently. Well, actually, there's some residual smoke uh, filling the San Gabriel and San Fernando valleys right now, and that's the Bobcat fire continues to burn. In fact, there are fires that are not being attended to. They're letting them burn because the surrounding brush is already burned, and so these flare-ups are not even being attended to. So the firefighters are not bothering to put those out either with the planes or on the ground. So the air is, we're breathing, depending on which way the wind blows, we get ashes dropping on the cars and so forth, or we get clean air for a few hours. So it just all really depends on the wind direction. So those fires are continuing to just burn out. One of the biggest fires we've ever had here in the Southern California area. All right, so right now we're looking at a map of Sitka, Alaska. Right here we can see that a WSR-88D is functioning right now. This is the current map for that area. And that's one of the WSR-88Ds in Sitka, which has a call sign of PACG. Okay, and that's located in Sitka. And we can see that that microwave transmitter is operational. And over the past week and a half, couple of weeks actually, we've seen activity, functional activity by these transmitters on the West Coast. So there have been fires in Washington, Oregon, and California, and we can see here that we have no rain, no precipitation anywhere on the western side of the country. Over on the eastern side, there is a tropical storm Gamma down here in the Gulf, which is producing a lot of precipitation, and that's moving. It's actually being blown to the northeast. If we take a look at some of these maps, let's take a look at the hurricane map first, the National Hurricane Center. We see Gamma here. This is a tropical storm with 60-mile-per-hour winds. It has a pressure of 996 millibar. It's moving due north at 2 miles per hour. So all that moisture is flowing up the east coast. And if we look at these, if we look at the satellite map for the east coast, we see a lot of that moisture just moving right up over, Mississippi, well, actually Alabama, portion of Florida, Georgia, and South and North Carolina. Now, if we go back to that Doppler map and zoom in, we see that the precipitation here over this area is not being broken up by any of those ground-based transmitters along the East Coast. All right, let's get back to the map. And so this storm here may turn into a hurricane. This is Gamma. This may turn into a hurricane at some point. Out here on the Pacific, this was Hurricane Marie. Let's go take a look at Hurricane Marie. This was a Category 4 storm on Friday. And we're going to watch the progression of Hurricane Marie. This storm is being targeted by satellite microwave transmitters. We can see here in this water vapor loop what's actually happening. You see it towards the end. We have about a third of that hurricane has just completely been evaporated. What's happened here is that high pressure has been installed adjacent to the eye wall of this hurricane, which disappeared early this morning. And towards the end, we see that right angle imprint firm up towards the end. This is being targeted and superheated. And so on Friday, this was a Category 4, right on the doorstep of a Category 4. It had 130 mile per hour sustained winds with a pressure of 948 millibar. Now, we see that a lot of the moisture from Hurricane Maria is moving right towards Southern California. And so we're going to make a prediction here that later today, as this continues to stream in a northeast direction, we're going to see the specially equipped jets up spraying the chemtrail aerosols, and that will maintain low humidity, and it will prevent the lift in the atmosphere. And of course, this moisture from this hurricane should deliver precipitation to the Southern California area, but that will be prevented by these jets spraying those chemtrail aerosols. Looking at the bigger map, these have to reload. That'll take a second. Okay, well, that's reloading. We'll just continue to look at the water vapor map here. This system, as I say, was a Category 4. It's listed right now currently on the Hurricane Center map as a Category 1 with 90 mile per hour sustained winds. So let's take a look here. This is Hurricane Marie. 90 mile per hour sustained winds, 975 millibar central pressure. This was 948 millibar on Friday, and the constant superheating and targeting of that storm by those satellite transmitters has knocked this storm down. It's moving northwest at 7 miles per hour. We also have another disturbance down here off just south of the mainland of Mexico, with a 40% chance of hurricane formation in the next 2 days. All right, let's take another look here and see if we can. We see that right angle imprint. Let's go and take a look now at the. This is the wide view of the Eastern and Central Pacific, and this is a 200 frame loop. We see the eye wall as we move into late Friday and Saturday and now into Sunday. Watch that eye wall disappear as we get into Sunday, as high pressure is installed right in this area. Right there, we see that large bow cutout in that hurricane right there. And that has diminished the strength of that hurricane by disrupting the lift. The lift, the atmospheric lift through the eye wall, is what powers the hurricane, and if you can disrupt that lift, then that weakens the central pressure in the center of the hurricane, the core, the center of that hurricane, and that will weaken the storm, and that's what we're seeing here. Now in this other loop here, I have it on a 200 frame, but as we see, the eye wall is not present, and that's because for some reason there's a problem with this on the website. Even though you call it 200 frames, you're not getting 200 frames. You can see that the eye wall is missing here. We're seeing the very sort of tail end of the sequence on Hurricane Marie there, but here we see some good detail. We can see the icicle pattern there. We can see the cutout, obviously the high pressure cutout there, that circular imprint, that bow, and the 1/3 of that hurricane is just completely evaporated there towards the end. Watch it again here. We see it firm up. That bow just appears. We see massive amounts of evaporation right there. But yet we're being told on the mainstream media combine that climate change, i.e. carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases, are somehow causing the climate to change. And that's that's one of the reasons why we don't see these satellite maps on the fake news, is because people wouldn't buy that narrative. Obviously there's more going on here than just companies trying to make money and generating carbon dioxide. In fact, everybody breathing on the planet is generating carbon dioxide. You know, these politicians are so lame, they're so stupid and so misinformed and uninformed, the combination of both, that they probably can never understand some of the things that are going on here in these maps. The mainstream media continues to cover up the what's actually happening with our weather, as well as a lot of other things. But just look at this here. We see that right angle towards the end. So we're seeing the moisture move right up towards Southern California. So expect to see the specially equipped jets upspring later today as this moisture continues to approach Southern California, and that will prevent the precipitation process. Here's the larger water vapor map. See that eye wall, that very well defined eye wall there. Turn the contrast down a little bit more and we can see it. It's very strange how they do this. Looks almost like an eclipse. Right here, this cutout, a lunar eclipse, I guess, or rather a solar eclipse, I should say. Right there. Okay, so that's the report. Now, I was going to try to do a 9/11 anniversary update. I'm going to get to that, but just been very busy doing things that needed to be done. We keep an eye on the weather regardless if we're putting up videos or not. So just continue to stay tuned. We'll put up updates when we can. And in the next video, I will try to show some screenshots of Washington and Oregon here just last week, which showed those WSR 88Ds that were operational. They were functioning on the west coast, but not on the east coast. So we'll have to keep an eye on things. And here's that Doppler map for the east coast. There's no WSR 88D over Florida, as that tropical storm's moisture moves right over Florida. Let's get the contrast up. Okay, so that's the report, and we'll just leave it right here. Okay, that's it.